then we'll talk to you. You'll be on the air. So now, we have with us the publisher for you have a publishing house called SWAN World.
Yes, SWAN World. Yes, SWAN World. So I'm a French publisher. My name in French is Editions du Cygne, and in my imprint in English it's SWAN World. So I a publisher since 2003, 12 years now. I'm a publisher about academic books, about geopolitical books, psychology, philosophy, law, history, and things like that.
Cool.
And I have also a literature department about poetry. I publish sure in French, Belgian, Swiss, Quebec authors, also foreigners who write in French, and also foreigners who are translated in French. And I began also to make an imprint in English, because I have books in English about psychology and about Namibian languages. And
cool.
I like Namibia, and I like Los Angeles, and so I make bridges with Los Angeles and with Los Angeles Poet Society. And with founder and manager and director Jessica Wilson Cardenas, and I
in the house.
I'm very, very honored to publish my French English language book in poetry in English with Jessica. She's very talented. There are so many poets I wanted to promote and to sign to be with me, but because I am in Los Angeles, I want to thank one woman I appreciate very, very well. It is Helene Cardona, who helps me to make my job here in Los Angeles. She translated a beautiful, fantastic American author whose name is Dorianne Laux. She translated in French, and she will translate in English a French poet, Gabriel Arnou-Laujeac, and it will be published in an American publisher, White Pine Press, next year in 2016. And I'm very, very happy to be with you, with Full Spectrum, Kill Radio, and with Los Angeles Poet Society. We say Sabrina.
Oh, thank you.
And very happy to have this opportunity to present SWAN World, my imprint in English live now with you in LA. It's a very, very, very happy for me, and I will. Read poetry in French. We
Excellent.
are going to her French song, but before we are going to speak with Jessica. She is the boss today.
All right. So, Serious Longing is the newest publication for SWAN World.
Yes, it's the newest one, and the first in poetry, and first in literature. Yes.
In English?
In English.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Sure.
So then, SWAN World is not new. That's just the newest English, sort of like coming into to the U.S. or is
yes,
that
it's new. It's officially new and officially new since 1 year. I have books in English, but with the logo SWAN World, with the imprint SWAN World, it is the first one. It's not the first book in English, but it is the first book, literature book, poetry book, with the logo SWAN World and with the imprint SWAN World. Yes, the first one.
Excellent.
Today for Kill Radio and Full Spectrum.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So then let's hear some. So we got Jessica Cardenas in the house, or Jessica Wilson, and the author of Serious Longing. Very nice.
Hello. Hi, everybody. How are you guys? Happy Monday night. Thank you for joining us. It is an honor. It's a dream come true, really, to be published. And just, my poetic journey has been a long one, and I've never given up. And it's what I love to do and who I am. And I'm just so happy and honored that someone so amazing like Patrice, and it just seems, as you've seen, when I met you, and now SWAN World Press, and to have this amazing honor and dream come true, and someone to have faith in what I'm doing, and those words. I can't, I'm just so excited. I get to share my words with with the people. This is great. Thank you for the opportunity for this, and for Kill Radio for letting me,
right on,
for being here, man.
All the independents, coming together, collaborating.
Yes. That's that creative community, that collaboration. We, I always say we're one world. Brother, sister, human beings. We're all together on this, in this place, and it's wonderful to join and help each other through this.
And feel each other through music, poetry, and art. Yeah.
Right on. And I also teach poetry. I'm with California Poets in the Schools, and I teach them from K through 12, and I work with Juan Cardenas, and we unlock the imagination and the creative in the students, but also just give them that simple nudge and for their own vocal empowerment, that hey, you have a voice, you can write anything you want, say what you want to say. So this is a poem called Landing, and it's for the kids.
All right.
Ona quijada is a jawbone of a donkey, a donkey, and it's also used as an instrument, like a percussion instrument. So, and this was one of Juan's exercises of imagination, where you transform an object into something else. So when I was singing a jawbone, I was singing what you're going to hear. Landing, for the kids. Quijada snaps a tooth, navigates across the sea. A Viking ship bringing poetry students to the islands of fantasy. All rules evaporate into the air. Quijada grows a tongue and rolls an R. Ere pushes on the sails, hoisted above the clouds. Teeth unfold into a delicate stairway, docking into worlds where steam flies between trees and gives birth to sound. Fat, bouncy notes drop like apples. Students pick them up, take a bite. Black juice runs from their cheeks. They are now rabid, red flesh with creative urgency. Scissored fingers write new reality. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you. All right. This is called Growl. And this is dedicated to all the 9-to-5ers. Those that feel that they are trapped during the day and they have a tiger in them and they want an artistic tiger, or just, they just want their freedom to be and walk the walk that they want. For those that feel trapped,
Yeah. Live your own life kind of thing. That's what we're all striving for, yeah.
Exactly.
That's why we want to feel each other. Yeah.
Right on, yeah. So this is called Growl.
All right.
Grieving the loss of light on my limbs, when entranced in a lead jungle of cages filled with electrolyte screens. Facades of scenes in nature. This jungle cat is paralyzed. As new light tiptoes over shoulders, I raise up to realize the sun never absorbs a tiny follicle. Only saturation existing in embers, yearning for another glow in that small sight of true sunshine. Frazzle down the roar, coax a purr from another tempered hour of capture.
Wow. It's interesting. It's kind of like, it kind of makes me think of like a sort of omniscient organism, like not like a fly on the wall, but an omniscient organism that's just kind of going through and, analyzing the experience of being.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, that's the poetic eye, like to step outside of yourself. And I wrote this when I was in capture, in that misery of the walls, and realizing that the sun's really not on me at all. It's just a little bit of light bouncing off one of the cubicle walls or something, and it's, that's that, from that moment, that experience. But so many of us feel that way, and you're just
How long ago did you write
that? I think beginning of this year, probably around February, March, when I was like,
Wow. So did you write a lot of this book very recently, or is it sort of like a collection of your work from a period of time?
I would say a good chunk of it is probably from the last year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fairly
but
fresh.
There's some stuff that I've polished from like some really oldies that I've polished up, and I'm like, they're alive, and so this is it's a collection of different times of life.
Fairly recent, for the most part, yeah.
And then in that same idea of freedom, this is called naturalism.
Okay.
If I were to wear one color over my body, let it blend to my feet, so each day the primitive returns to the eyes. Reflection of place beyond person or thing. Thank you. Let's just go naked. Let's not worry about this. Let's just come naturally.
It's interesting that it's called naturalism, and yet it still has a sound of being romantic. Yeah, it's not like as you would look at naturalism in its origin, where it was just trying to be very direct, very real, with no embellishments at all, and yet you can be naturalistic and yet show the actual significant romance of the subject matter, because it is there. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to think of that as a hindrance or something that's unnecessary, superfluous.
Yeah.
Because it really is. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Definitely.
Bring out the beauty.
Yeah. And if you think back to it, wearing clothing in itself is probably one of the first restrictive things we've done, that human beings or Homo sapien has done. Removing itself from its natural, we clothe for warmth or we have a blanket or something because we don't have so much hair. But if you go back in evolution, people in colder climates were hairier and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the clothes are binding. Not that I want to be a nudist per se, but it's just a statement in saying if we were to shed this and remove this barrier of,
Well, yeah, it's sort of the construct of many different things from different styles, different cultures, to that too, like the amount, or not even just the style, but the amount, and also with the style it goes into clicks, but with the amount it really just goes into status, and it's kind of arbitrary. It doesn't seem so because of all these centuries that we've built up this whole society of of just material,
right? Yeah,
of material wealth. So it's hard to imagine that it really is as relative and irrelevant.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Remove it, and it's as simple as just, hey, we exist.
Yeah. The only thing that really
That's all we need.
of value
we need to breathe, drink water,
is the knowledge.
eat.
Yeah. The experience and what you have, what you can bring, your insight, how much you know, how much you can offer other people by not based on necessarily something of material worth, but something that's of immaterial worth is arguably priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right. So on a positive note, this kind of goes with that same theme in the Growl poem of being trapped and wanting to be and realizing, this isn't for me. I'm trapped in this situation. I want out, and I'm going to find a way to get out of this. And here we go. This is called Ocean Mantra. Here's some seeds of hope here. Okay. Ocean Mantra. If becoming lost in a work where you chop away the tide to hold your own current, you will live richer in the arms of spirit that drives you inward, upward, toward absolution of self-identity, and realize the meaning behind the pattern of your breath. Tide reveals fortune, just as seashells ornament the shore. There is always more underneath the surface. Dig to uncover truth, clear as water.
That was nice. I liked how the pattern of your words, as you were even talking about it, pattern of your breath, have the meaning, give the meaning.
Right on, thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
it was deeper.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen,